my Instagram. I know, I just did a live. I'm going to do another one. It's really sunny out here, so I put my hat on. We're doing the complete opposite of what we just did. We have a super soft blush bouquet for tomorrow's wedding. So I thought I would just do another live because it's great to, the more the merrier, right? So I'm kind of thinking that I might do a crisscross for this one because I already did so many tap turns. So I think I'll do that. I have a couple of Juliets, and these guys are really thorny. And you want to make sure that you really clear these thorns for the brides. I don't always clear all the foliage off, but this bride wants things cleaned up. She's not a really super green chick. I don't like to reflex Juliets, just maybe give them a little pull on the sides because they lose that cup. This is a quicksand rose. These are beautiful. They're ready to roll. They're super open. Somebody asked me last week, when do you buy your flowers, your roses, to get them to open adequately? And some people get them even a week ahead. I do use some of them that are a week ahead. However, I try primarily to get them on Mondays and let them open. So if I have some left from the week before, sometimes they're a great addition to what I've already ordered because they're so soft. The softer a rose is when you grab it from the base, the older it is, but sometimes that's to our advantage if we want to see, we want to get it open. So why don't you pull in back just a little, or pull off to the side, then you can get under the shade now. Oh, there's so much sun. Anyway, this is a shimmer rose. I thought I would show this to you. It really looks different whether it's closed or whether it's open. So when I open it, it has a lot more of that sherbet peach color. And when I keep it closed, it's a lot pinker on the outside. So it's a nice rose that can almost look like two totally different flowers in your bouquet. So I'm going to leave it one way, and then I'm going to leave it the other way. I have more Juliets. All these are cleaned and ready to rock and roll. So instead of doing my typical floral arrangement, I think I'm going to do a crisscross for you guys. And this is the way I do it. So again, we want to start with a centerpiece. Oh, I came out here. Aunt Rita takes care of us here in the shop, and she cleans up out from under us all day long. She took my string, so I'm going to call her string. Zizi! We call her Zizi. Rita! Christina! I need my string! Hello! Okay, so when you're doing this, I need my bind wire. Aunt Rita cleaned it up.
Bind wire?
Yeah. They're like, what do you want? Leave us alone. So we're going to start recessed in the middle. I think I'm just going to use an Eskimo. Love Eskimo. Super sweet scented rose. Really not a super high petal count, but a pretty open. It's one of those roses you can definitely, yank the middle out of. And it looks just like that. If I want to reflex it a little bit, which I don't care because this is going to sit in the center. But if I were to reflex it, thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Then it really looks like it's just growing. The difference between like a real garden, it doesn't have the lazy stem like you find on some, stray garden roses. But I just love it. So I'm going to start the center of my bouquet the same way I start the other center. So it's still going to be a recessed center in the middle. We're going to use this to tie off to start. I like to do a couple flowers in the center to use some stock. That's always my go-to for texture. So some some peach stock. I love peach stock. Another really fragrant flower that, I just love a bouquet that has a lot of fragrance in it. So, we start this much the same way we start the other one. But what we're going to do is crisscross. We're going to do the opposite of what I just taught you. So we're going to cross. We're going to go like this. We're going to start to build. Well, actually, let's build from the longest section. So let's build from here. we're going to build all the way out. There's a couple ways you can do this. So I'm going to build it all the way out. And when I do this, I'm just going to hold it like this, so you see. So I'm basically doing a crisscross, and I'm going to build in from it. I'm going to turn this up like that. I like to have a center. Not everybody likes a center when they're doing a crisscross, but I start with the center, and I start it low. So now you already see my line. Campanella is an awesome flower, but it can get really nasty, so you want to make sure that you clean all those dried petals off, once it, especially when it's open like that. So it's really nice, and it has a lot of movement, but you know, we don't want to. So you see my line, my invisible line again? Same as before. At the end of the result of the bouquet is going to be very, very similar. But to start it off, it's not. Look at this Lisianthus. This is gorgeous Lisianthus. It looks like it's
huge.
It's huge, really high petals. I'm going to make it even bigger because I hate wasting the size of petal. But look at this Lisianthus when you open it. I mean, you basically can, look at it. Isn't that pretty? Lisianthus is nice because it has a little bit of very flexible stem. So my crisscross now, I'm going to come back out like this. I'm just going to keep crisscrossing, and I'm going to build in. So it's sort of the opposite of what I did before. Let's put this, I want something that's going to give me a good curve up. So I think I'm going to use this stock. So I'm going to layer that on there like that. Everett's going to have to keep turning like this, just like that. So you're seeing my line, right? Let's go with another quicksand. I'm basically just crisscrossing and building in. Like this style, I think it's really pretty. My only concern with it is always that, you know, you really have to kind of know what you're doing, or you're going to end up with a one-sided bouquet, all right? So I'm crisscrossing up there, just like that. Here comes Zizi, my cleaner-upper. So in the same keeping that I put two of these, you see what's happening? I have my two quicksand, I have this Lizzie. I think I'm going to do another Lizzie. And I might have to tie this in just a touch because it's big, okay? So I might have to start to draw it in just a bit. Because this girl really didn't want a bouquet that was that big. It's always easy to get smaller. It's a lot harder to get bigger. See, you see how I'm always turning my stems? Always turning them in. Can you see what's happening here? You see? So it's very flat. Very flat. So I'm going to tie it off right now where we are, just so I can keep working. Little, this is just a different style. When we were at Design Sanctuary, Mandy from Potted Pansy taught this style, right? Is that what she taught? Were you in there?
Yep.
Similar style to this crisscross. Everybody does it a little different. I should have gone to her class so I could see what she did. But this is how I do it.
She didn't have a center point.
Right. And you don't have to. That's just the way I like it because I like to see where I'm headed so I can build into it. But most people probably don't start with a center. Okay? There we go. So I'm going to keep building in.